Hi there, it's Mayor Rusty Bailey here. Recycling has been a part of our lives for years, but changes in the solid waste industry are making it tougher to keep material out of our landfills. So join me as we talk about how you can help make a difference.
This time around, we've got a great segment about recycling. We've got the Deputy Director for the City of Riverside Public Works Department, Cindy Perry. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. We've got so many questions.
I know,
for you.
but we're not messing around. We got the Deputy Director of Public Works here with us, Cindy Perry, but an incredible asset to our city for many years, and we're glad that she's here going to tell us more about recycling and all about the bins at home, right? I mean, when I was growing up, we had to take the trash to the dump.
Yep.
Dad and I pile in, get in the car and go to the landfill and drop it off. Not anymore. We have bins at home and businesses, and so recycling is common now. How did it become so popular?
Well, you might think back to the 80s, and that was really the consumer decade. So we began to consume a lot of materials. So, we have this intent to do the right thing. So we can take that material and put it back into use again. So doing the right thing is really important. So as a result, the state implemented some regulations. So that's why you see those 3 bins at your curbside. And the intent is to make it as easy as possible. So you don't have to hop in the truck with Dad and take that time and go to the landfill, because our tendency would be not to recycle.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Blue can.
I didn't know that it was state mandated.
It is state mandated, and that happened in the 90s, and it's been a gradual progression of the regulation that surrounds recycling. So yes, cities are required to recycle.
Even with that, statistics show that about a third of recyclable refuse is actually recycled. What can we do to either bring more attention or get people to recycle more?
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Right.
That's exactly right. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So the reduce part is, some of the things that we suggest are try not to use those water bottles. Instead, go to your local Walmart or Target and buy a reusable container. Buy reusable containers to put your lunch in. Generating less waste goes a very long way. We also encourage people to recycle clean. One of the issues that we've been having is a lot of trash ends up in the blue bin, and people have every intention of doing the right thing. So there's actually a term associated with that called wish cycling. It's paper, so I must put that in the blue bin. But the reality is some of those materials do not recycle well. And I'm gonna quiz you. How's that?
Oh boy.
Don't
Okay.
quiz me. Quiz
He was
him.
an education, please.
No.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
your family eats pizza for dinner. Where do you put that?
The cardboard box.
Where do you put the cardboard box?
I give it to him. And then he does what?
Put it in the
Actually, it's corrugated
Blue
cardboard,
bin?
so I would think it goes in the blue.
That depends. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be trash. And the reason is because that clean cardboard is now contaminated with grease, cheese, and if you eat pepperoni, it's a no-go. If you have a very clean piece of cardboard, then that would go in the blue bin.
So it's not just the material then.
It is not just the
Okay.
material.
That
Yeah.
makes
So
sense.
so
I like that.
we're actually being very proactive, and we've launched some campaigns to help people understand, because it's confusing. Over the years, the rules have changed. So
Yeah.
it's really not the fault of anybody that's doing their disposal. It's just, we've kind of changed those rules on them.
And when you do recycle, make sure you fill the blue can up before you put it out. Don't put it out when you have just a little bit in there, because let our trash haulers do their thing instead
Right.
of
Yeah.
picking it up every week. You should anyway.
That's a great tip. I mean, that helps us be more efficient,
Yes,
and it's
there
more
you go.
cost effective,
Time
for sure.
management, yeah.
global market for recycling has shifted. Tell us about this global market
Yeah.
situation that we're
Wow,
in.
has
China,
it shifted?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So in 2018, China changed the rules on us once again. So China's been the biggest market. That's where we typically send our recyclables. So they put very tight restrictions on the level of contamination. So that's what I'm saying. They want super pristine recycling.
Because they take a lot of it.
They
or
take
did,
they
right.
take a lot of it, and they're really trying to clean up their act as well. So it's understandable. So with that, it really resulted in a market crash because we didn't the demand just diminished. So it's just simple economic supply and demand. The supply is massive because you've got the entire United States trying to ship to China. Other countries are shipping to China, and they're saying no more. So what
Sounds like an opportunity for some entrepreneurs to
Yeah.
take hold in the United States. And
Absolutely, and we're starting to see the markets come up in California even. It just takes time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of capital that's required as a result. I know the state is working very hard to provide some incentives to grow that market.
But with those changes globally, okay, so it affects everybody at a certain level. How does that affect us here at the local level?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's probably going to result in a cost to recycle. So historically, there's been so much money in recycling that it was essentially a free service. The revenue that came in to the cities and the processors was enough to cover the cost of processing it, plus some profit for them and a little bit of revenue for the city as well. Unfortunately, that revenue has just plummeted, so now we have a cost issue. So we are exploring with our haulers and our processors some options for our residents. By cleaning up the recycling, it's going to make it more valuable. So we'll be doing some
ding,
outreach.
ding, 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 ding. Clean
Yeah.
up your
Right.
recycling.
Clean up your recycling and focus on the basics. That's that clean cardboard. We all love Amazon, right? So that is perfect for
Right.
the blue bin. Put that in there. Your bottles, your cans, give them a little rinse and throw them in there. Paper is ideal as well. So those are the kinds of things, if we can just focus on the basics, that's really going to help our program.
Where can people learn more about this, about clean recycling?
Yeah, well, the city's website, go to Riverside CA /cure, and there's information there. If you just
RiversideCA.gov.
.gov. Thank
Slash-
you.
okay.
Yes, and then the state also has a number of resources at calrecycle.ca.gov, and then you can always call the city's 311.
Yes, 311. One call
One
does
call
it all.
does
You
it
heard
all.
it. I
And
love it.
if you
What does
have
CURE
any-
stand for? Sorry, real
CURE
quick.
stands for Clean Up Riverside's Environment, so we have a number of programs associated with that as well.
And you want to do your chant,
Ready?
your cheer again?
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
We had to do it. Cindy Perry, the Deputy Director for the City of Riverside Public Works Department, thank you so much for stopping by today and educating us on recycling.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, as always, thank you.
We'll do it again.
That's it for this episode of Riverside Monthly with Mayor Bailey. I'm Steve Brazel. Make sure you check out each and every one of the 3 episodes that we're doing this month.